So let's have a look at the first example on top. So in the grid below, one square has been left out. So we see this big square in front of us, the bottom right-hand side of that square has been left empty. Look at the 5 squares below this big square and decide which one completes the grid in the best way possible. So if you look at this example at the top, right at the top of the page, and we've got 3 squares. So one particular square is an X, but it's lightly shaded. On the right-hand side, we have an X, but it's bold. So on the left-hand side here, we have a circle, and that circle is lightly shaded. And now we know that the pattern is that we're looking for a circle that's going to be slightly bolder. In this case, the answer is going to be B, okay? So let's have a go at this, and let's work out some of these techniques as we go along. So if you would like to contribute as well, then do say so as well, okay? Just put your hand up. It's one of those buttons in there which you can press. Let's go to Mustafa. He's the first person who's actually volunteered for this question. Hello, Mustafa.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good lad. And would you like to take us through how we can actually do this one?
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
because at the bottom left of this picture over here, at the bottom, the bottom left is shaded. So to finish that, you'd have to go for. That would be A, but that's not the answer. The answer is C.
Okay, so just explain to us very quickly the actual pattern from here to here, from the top left to the top right.
That's something like.
Okay.
So when you move from, I'll help you. Would you like me to help you?
Yes.
Okay, so moving from left to right, from left to right, what happens is the black shape is rotated 180 degrees. So 180 degrees means this triangle jumps up here. Can you see that difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's the first thing. And the second thing is the white shape. So the row of X's moves 90 degrees to the left. So you see these row of X's here?
Yeah.
They move 90 degrees to the left. You see that one?
Yeah.
Good. Now you said that the answer was C here. So in this case, because the answer is C, let me just highlight the answer anyway. And now you can describe it to me how the transfer from here we get here.
Because this moves 180 degrees.
Yep.
And then it's got the arrow at the top, so it goes there.
Yeah, it goes to the left. So this particular X here goes to the left. And you see the grid here, you see that square and the circle, they disappear. So there's no square, there's no circle. Square. And this particular black shaded shape goes to the top right. All right. Good. Well done there. Mustafa, good attempt, and well done for volunteering there as well. Good boy. So C is going to be our answer in this case. Well done. And let's move forward to the next one. I've got a few people with their hands up. Let's go to Hisham for this one. Hello, Hisham. Just going to unmute you now.
Hi.
Hi, Hisham. Are you well?
Yeah.
Okay, fab. Take your time. There's no rush.
Oh, the answer would be B.
Answer would be B.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just highlight that for a second and give us the explanation.
So the line on the side or on the bottom spaces back, and the main
Yes.
shape in the middle gets bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and then the pattern would rotate 90 degrees to the left.
Good. That's a very good answer there. And I'll just repeat that for everybody else as well. So if you move from left to right, so this way, I always say left to right because then you know exactly where you start off, and then we know exactly where we end up as well. So moving from left to right, the bold black line, I'll just highlight this for you. Moving from left to right, the bold black line is moved away from the white shape. So you see this bold line here? This will move away, just like this bold line here moves away from this shape here. So that's the first thing. The bold line moves away, okay? And then the divided line is rotated 90 degrees. So you see this particular line here is kind of rotated anti-clockwise. Now, anti-clockwise means to the left, like Hisham just said. So this moves, is rotated to the left 90 degrees, and it turns up like this. So we know that this particular line is going to move away from this square, and that's exactly what happens here. Okay, that line. And this particular fork type shape goes anti-clockwise and rotates to the left to go right in the middle, just like here. And B sounds absolutely right to me, Sham, so well done for that. Thank you. Okay, now we're on question number 3. Let's try this one. And let's go to Ebenezer for this one.
Hello?
Hi, Ebenezer.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. You?
No problem. Nothing wrong?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm not sure which this one is actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got this one wrong.
Not to worry. Would you like me to help you?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, so in each of the columns, you know columns?
Yes.
What are columns?
Columns are, is it the one that goes across?
That's called rows. So the
It
line
goes
that goes
down.
across, yeah, so columns goes from top to bottom, and rows go across from left to right. Okay, so in this case, moving in each of the columns and rows of the grid, each of the 3 different arrows appear once. Can you see those arrows?
Yes.
So they only appear once. In each row, the direction of the arrow is rotated 90 degrees clockwise. And do you know which way clockwise goes?
This way?
So it's difficult for me to tell from your screen. Is it right or left? Clockwise.
Right.
Excellent. So clockwise is right. And the squares at the corners of the grid each have a double diagonal line, and the squares between have a large central cross. So in each row of the grid, there is a square with a black dot, one with a white dot, and one with a black and white dot. So there's a lot going on in this question. I'm just going to highlight this for you, Ebenezer. So A is going to be the answer. So this particular square will go, in this space here. Can you see that dot of mine on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this particular square would go just there.
Okay.
All right. And the reason it will go there is because the square at the corners of the grid each have a double diagonal line, and each row, the direction of the arrow is rotated 90 degrees. So you see that arrow there, Ebenezer?
Yes.
Which way is that pointing? Which way is this arrow pointing?
Upwards.
Upwards. Now you see this answer here that we've highlighted A. Which way is this pointing?
Right.
Right. So it's changed direction clockwise by 90 degrees. Is that right?
Yes.
Now look at this arrow again. Which way is this pointing?
Downwards.
Downwards. And it's rotated 90 degrees again one more time. So that also shows you that A is going to be the correct answer.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good lad. Well done. Okay, so let's go to the next question, which is question 4. Let's have a look at this. Let's go to Adam Ghani for this one. Hello, Adam.
Hi.
Hi there. Would you like to have a go at this one?
Okay.
Okay, and don't worry if you don't get the answer right. It's not a problem. Just take your time.
Okay. I think it will be it's going to be B,
And why do you think it would be B?
because in the first and the last row,
Mm-hmm.
always the shape on the left goes inside the shape on the right.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first row, the circle goes inside the triangle.
Right.
So so it will be B.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So moving from left to right, the third shape in each row contains 2 previous shapes. So for example, let me just show you this. Can you see that first one there? And the second one there? And then the third shape there. So guess what? What's happening in the third shape there, Adam?
In the third shape, the circle is inside the triangle.
Exactly. So circle, triangle, join up here together. So the triangle is a big shape and the circle's inside. And let's have a look at this example here as well, Adam, on the right at the bottom. So we've got like a star shape, cloudy star shape there, and an X, a cloudy star shape there, and an X. And then what happens? We have
They win.
yeah, they join. So the cloudy shape at the bottom, and then the X turns big right at the top. Here, same thing. We have a rectangle, a square, rectangle, a square, and then what happens is that, tell us with the last one, the middle one.
It's gonna be B.
Yeah, and the rectangle and the square actually join up, and the square is big, and the rectangle just gets stuck in the middle, just like the other 2 examples that we covered before, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. So that's good. And B is our answer in this case. Well done. Adam, as you're on, do you fancy having a go at this one as well?
Okay.
Yeah. Take your time.
I think I got this one wrong.
Yeah? Okay, let me give you a hint then in this case for this one. So moving from left to right. So remember everyone, this is what I do for this question. You don't have to, but it's easier if you move from left to right and in the grid that we're talking about. So from here to here, okay? So let's look at this one here on the bottom left and see how we end up in the bottom right and what the comparison is in between these last 2 squares at the bottom of the page. So moving from left to right, the arrows are rotated 180 degrees. So can you see that arrow there, Adam?
Yeah.
So what's happened is they've started rotating 180 degrees clockwise. In other words, they've turned opposite to each other. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So that's one comparison. And at the same time, their position does not change. The position stays the same of the arrows. The only thing is the arrow heads turn 180 degrees and they're completely opposite to each other. So that's the first thing. The small shape and lines are positioned separately, with the lines moving inside the large white shape, which becomes larger. So if you see here, these lines, 1 and 2, they go inside this particular oval shape. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And the black circle and the white rectangle just remain separate. Yeah? So what's going to happen with the first one is that these arrows will move down. Okay?
Yeah.
And these 2 lines, can you see these 2 lines? They will go in this rectangle box. And the white circle and the rectangle, the black rectangle, will just separate and be separate.
Yeah.
Any ideas which one it could be?
D.
Excellent. Well done. Did that explanation help?
Yeah.
Fantastic, Adam. Well done. Good boy. D is the correct answer. Good lad. Okay, so there we go. So D is the correct answer here. Now we're moving on to question number 6. Question number 6. So let's go to Zarina for this one. Hi, Zarina.
Hi.
All right, take your time from here. So I always go from left to right, but you can do whatever you find is easier. Would you like a hint?
I think it's gonna be E
Okay, let's just highlight that quickly. And why do you think it's going to be E?
because the black shape, the black shape
Sector,
is
black sector, yeah?
the black bit is rotating 90 degrees, I think,
Mm-hmm.
every time.
And is
So
it going to the left or is it going to the right? Moving from left to right.
it's going to go to the left anti-clockwise,
Good go, well done.
and then the line, the figure with lines inside would also do the same,
Yes,
and then
well
they
done.
would reach the same bit.
Excellent. So let me just quickly give an explanation for this one. So you see this shady shape there. It moves to the left about 2/8, so roughly about 90 odd degrees. And this black shape here moves up here. So you can see this next section. So again, the shady shape moves to this section, and the black shape, black sector moves to the left again. And the same applies to all these rows. So in this case, D is the correct answer. Well done, Zarina. Zarina, we're on question number 7 now. Do you want to have a quick go on this one?
Would it be E?
And give us an explanation.
From the line, the 3 lines would become thick, and the middle line would become thin, because in the grid, the first square is the middle line is thick, and the 3 lines are thin.
Yeah, so this line here on the left, when you go to the box on the right, this line becomes thinner. So on the left-hand side is bold, but on the right-hand side is thinner. And the 2 small lines on top of the shape, they become thicker and bolder. So here, this particular main line will become thinner, and the 3 forks on top will become bolder. So in this case, I would agree with you that E will, in this case, be the correct answer. So I would go for E as well. Good, well done, Zarina. Thank you for that. And just mute yourself. And we're going on to the next question, which is question number 8. And let's go with Homera. Hi, Homera.
Hi.
Hi there, you right?
Yep.
Good girl. Have a look at this, Homera. What do you think about these ones?
I think it's going to be C.
C, okay. Let me just give you, let's just have a look at this. And I'll give you a hint for this one as well. All right? So let's have a look at this one. So question number 8. So moving from left to right, let me get my spotlight out. So moving from left to right, like we do, the arcs, these are arcs here, are reflected in a dotted line. Can you see? So moving from left to right, we've got a dotted line in the middle, and this arc is then reflected on the other side, like a mirror image. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, now here, we've got 3 arcs. So if we have a dotted line in the middle, and they have to reflect exactly on the other side. So if you see here, this arc is on the bottom left, so it's reflected on the top right. So if so if these three arcs are on the top left, where will they be reflected?
On the bottom right.
So there you go. That's a clue for you.
I think it's going to be B.
Yeah, it's going to be B. Good girl. Well done. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Good girl. Well done. Thank you very much, Mira. I better go and ask some few other students as well, because I've got quite a few hands up at the moment as well. Let's go on to question number 9. Let's have a look at this one. Question number 9, anybody? All right. In this case, let's go for Ruby.
Hi.
Hello, Ruby. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Lovely. Have a look at this one, Ruby. If you need any help from me, just ask me and I'll give you a hint.
Okay, I think it's gonna be A.
And why do you think that?
I think that because I think it's got down. So if you was, I think it said that because half of the first part would be
Yeah. So moving from sure, go ahead.
you have to take like one. So for the little circle, you have to take 3 seconds.
A line. Yes, one line. So how many? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see them?
Yeah.
And now let's see how many lines we've got. We've got 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, and 5 lines. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little shapes here. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines exactly matching those same number of shapes. So on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. And what did you say it could be?
A.
A. Does that kind of add up?
Yeah.
Lovely. Fantastic, Ruby. Thank you. And thank you very much for that, Ruby. I'll come back to you a bit later, okay? Just mute yourself. Let's go to Sabi for the next one. Hi, Sabi.
Hi. So
Hi, Sabi. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay. I think I just lost you there. Don't worry. I'll come back to you in a minute. Let's go to Janet quickly. Hi, Janet.
Hello.
Hi there. Help us out here, Janet.
I think it's going to be A.
And why do you think that's the case?
Because the lines here at the top and the bottom should be the same, and the first box should turn into a line with 2 triangles on, 1 black, 1 white, and then the triangles swap the colors, and the first box is at the bottom of the triangle at the last one.
Yeah, that's good. So if you move from left to right, so I've just highlighted box A. So if you move from left to right here, the 2 first shapes are placed on top. Okay? At the top of each other, the 2 shapes. So for example, you've got the triangles at the top, triangles at the bottom, and then you've got 2 triangles here side by side. And then the color swaps in the small shape at either end of the line as well. So it's the same thing here. You've got the 2 shapes at the top, and the bottom, and then they just converge into one line, and one is black, the other one is white, and then on the third shape they just kind of add up together with the dotted lines, the stripy lines on the outside as well. So A in this case will be the correct answer. Well done. Good, thank you. And we'll go to Sabi for the next one again. Hi, Sabi.
Hi.
So question 11, please.
So I think question 11 is A,
And how do you think that?
because if we're going left to right, the bottom one, so the pentagon is split in half, and both halves are reflected and
Good.
put.
Yeah, you're right. So if you look here, and with my spotlight, so you've got this pentagon there, five-sided shape, and what happens is they're reflected on the other side. So they're reflected back to front in a way, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that another pentagon is going to be reflected again, but they're going to be back to front. And A is the correct answer there, Sabi. Well done. And this is the last one, Sabi. Give us an explanation for this one as well, if you can.
So the arrows are going 90 degrees clockwise, and all the rows have an arrow that has 2 lines at the bottom, an arrow which has 2 arrows at the top, and an arrow that has 2 arrows at the bottom.
Yes, so for this one, which one are we going to go for then?
C.
C. So let's give a quick explanation for that one. So moving from left to right, the arrows rotate 45 degrees clockwise, and you're right. So 45 degrees, remember, is half of 90 degrees. So this arrow is pointing straight, rotated 90 degrees, and then rotated 90 degrees again. 45 degrees and rotated 45 degrees again clockwise, which means it's rotated to the right. So the final arrowhead is the same as the arrowhead in the first figure. Can you see this? So we're going from left, right, down, left, move 45 degrees clockwise, and then again, if you go 45 degrees clockwise again, we're going to have arrow C, but at this time, we will have the bottom part of the top arrow on the other side. So C is correct. Well done. Good, Sabi, well done. Thank you for that. So with these questions, it just needs a little bit more explanation in terms of understanding the patterns, really. So it's all about understanding the patterns. And remember what I said last time, got to be a little bit patient and calm, and then go through each sequence one at a time. So now we're moving on to test 3. Let's just go through this. Okay, so I kind of left the slightly easier one to the end. So in the following question, there is a sequence of squares with one square left empty. Decide which of the 5 squares shown below completes the sequence. Sequence means one after another. It's like a pattern, and we have to decide which box goes where. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. And let's ask a few people to answer these questions as we go along. Now let's go to Rayan for this one. Hi Rayan, can you hear me there? Okay, I'll come back to you in a minute. Let's go to for this one.
Hi.
Hi are you right?
Yes.
Good.
I actually don't understand it too much.
No? Okay, I'll help you with this one then. So moving from left to right. So let me just get my spotlight out. Can you see my spotlight?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So moving from left to right, can you see here 1, 2, 3 lines and an arrow? Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines and an arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines and an arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines and an arrow. So what do you think this one's going to be? How many lines will it have, first of all?
7.
7. Okay. So which shape here, first of all, shows you 7 lines and an arrow?
B.
Excellent. Was that easy?
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's do one more together then. Okay. So with this one, so first thing is that we have to look at the pattern first of all. So let me just explain the pattern to you. So if you kind of move from left to right, the dots change between black and white. So this is white. This is white. Second box is going to be black. Third box is white. Fourth box is going to be black. And the fifth box is white. So first of all, in the second box, is the circle on the top right going to be black or white?
Black.
Black. So that narrows down our answer to 3 boxes, B, C, or E. Keep that in mind, okay? That's the first thing. So another white square is added each time. So if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here, let me show you from second to the, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 white boxes. Here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white boxes. Here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white boxes. So in our answer, how many white boxes are we going to have? Possibly. So you've got 1, 2 here.
3.
3. Okay, now. So which one do you think is going to be B, C, or E?
E.
There you go. That's all you need to know. E is our answer. Yeah, happy?
Yes.
Good girl. Well done. Thank you so much. I'll come back to you later, all right? Okay, let's go to the next one and see what we're going to do here. Let's go to Anaya for this one.
Hi.
Hi, Anaya. You all right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good stuff. So now we're on question 3, I think, Anaya.
I didn't really understand this one.
I'll help you now. I'm just going to give you some hints.
Okay.
So moving from left to right, to the right, to the right, to the right, okay? So the smaller square and line rotates 90 degrees. So question number 3. So the smaller, moving from left to right, the smaller square and line rotates 90 degrees, first of all, clockwise each time. The short parallel lines increase by 1 each time. So can you see here? We've got 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines. And how much do you think our answer is going to have?
4 lines.
So here, you look at the first box, we've got 1, 2, 3. And our answer here is going to have how many lines?
4 lines.
Yeah. So you look at the first box here. How many lines do we have there and here? Look at my spotlight.
1,
And here, second box.
2,
And the third box.
3,
And the fourth box is going to have how many lines?
4,
4. So which box here shows us 4 lines?
A, C, and D.
Yeah. So we've got A. We've got C. And we've got D, right? So that means the answer is going to be A, C, or D. So this way, you just shortlist your answer. So now we know the answer is going to be A, D, or C. So it's going to be, has to be between these three. Okay, let's go to the next pattern now. The shape inside the smaller square changes between a triangle and a circle. So have a look there. Can you see that small square there?
Yes.
You've got a circle in there. Small square there. You've got a triangle in there. Small square there. You've got a circle in there. So the next small square is going to have what?
A triangle.
Exactly. So now, shortlist our answer from A, C, or D. It can be the same, right? It can be either A, C, and D because they all have triangles. Let's go to the next pattern. And the line joining the smaller square to the larger square becomes bold or fine. So can you see the small square there?
Yes.
And this is the big square. Can you see this line? Let me just highlight this for you, make it easy for you. See that line there? That's a thin line. And this line here is a bold line. Thin line, what's going to be there?
A bold line.
Exactly. So now, if you have a look, this bold line here, can you see that? Bold line there as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got the triangle there as well. Got the 4 lines there as well. And it's rotating on the same side. So in this case, I will say that D will be the answer in this case here. Okay?
Okay.
So D will be the answer. You see, for this question, we had so many different patterns, didn't we? This was like a very busy question. Yeah, it was a really busy question, this one. Let's go on to question 4 here. So, and here, if you move from left to right here, the direction of the arrow kind of changes and the arrow gains an arrowhead in every second type of figure. So here, let me just get my spotlight there. Can you see the arrow? And it joins, it gets a line at the end. And then something happens here, and then it gets another arrowhead there, and it gets another arrowhead there. So that's one pattern. There's a small black dot in alternate squares. So there's a black dot here. There's no black dot here. There will be a black dot there. There's no black dot here. And there's a black dot there. Can you see that?
Yes.
So the figure that completes this square here is going to be one where upward pointing arrow with 2 arrowheads and a small black dot. So here, the square that's going to go there is going to be an upward pointing arrow with 2 arrowheads and a small black dot. So it's going to have 2 arrowheads and a small black dot. And this black figure here, can you see that? Oh, it's on the left.
Yes.
Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, and that's consistent. That will stay the same. So it has to be in that order. So if you look at option B here, for example, this one, we've got an arrow that has 2 arrowheads. We've got the black and white on the top, and we've also got the black dot, and we've also got this particular line that goes there as well. Okay, so for this one, it will be option B. All right.
Yes.
Okay, Nia, thank you for that. Thank you for that. If you need to look, watch this lesson again, by the way, any one of you, then please do so, right? Because sometimes it's good to have a little bit more practice, especially with non-verbal reasoning type questions. Let's go to some more contribution in this case. Let's go to Hisham for this one.
Done.
Hi, Hisham. Question number 5, please.
Hi. So I think that it would be E.
Okay.
Because the small box in the corner, in the left-hand corner of each shape, rotates by 90 degrees each time.
Mm-hmm.
And one more hand grows each time.
One more hand grows. You mean the triangle?
Yeah, one more
Yeah,
triangle.
that's true. That's true. So, for example, if you look at this this one here, so you've got 1, 2, 2 arrows, 2 triangles on the circle. Then we've got 1, 2, 3 triangles. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. This one's going to have 5 triangles around the circle, and this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And E has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. No, actually, E. How much does E have?
5.
5. Yes. So 5 goes in the middle, and 6 goes at the end. So that's correct. We know that. And the other pattern was
That the line in the bottom left-hand corner of each shape rotates each time.
That's good. Well done. So E will be correct. Let's go on to the next one. Have a go at this one as well.
This one would be C.
C. Check that one again one more time.
Okay.
I'll help you with this one. If you look here, can you see the stripy
Oh, it's E.
rectangle moves up by 1? Can you see the white rectangle moves up by 1? Stripy rectangle moves up by 1.
Yeah.
Again, the black rectangle moves up by 1. Stripy rectangle moves up by 1. White rectangle moves up by 1.
So it would be E.
It will be E. Absolutely. Well done. Good lad. Thank you very much, Hisham, for that. Thank you. Let's go to Zoya. Hi, Zoya.
Hi.
Hi. So for this one, we're on question number 7 now.
It's D.
And can you give us an explanation why it's D?
So with the circle in this, there's a pattern in it. So there's 3 of the colors that you can do. So there's stripe, there's white, and there's black. So after black, it's striped. So that means there's going to be a white circle.
Right. So we have here, so Zoya is saying that we have a white circle. After the white circle, we have a black circle. After the black circle, we have a stripy circle. And then what's going to go here, Zoya?
Wait, what was the question again, sorry?
So here we have a white circle. Then we have a black circle. Then we have a stripy circle. And then what kind of circle is going to go here?
It's going to be a white circle.
It's going to be a white circle. Good. Now here we have a small black circle. We have a small black square. We have a small black circle, small black square. And what are we going to have in the middle here?
Circle.
What type of circle?
It's going to be a small circle.
Small black circle. Is that right? Good. Okay, so in this case, D will be correct. Let's have a go at this one as well, Zoe.
All right. So it's A.
Okay, and tell us why.
Because the black dot moves down 1 arc at a time, and the arches switch sides.
Okay, so let's check if that's right. So the black dot goes down by 1 arc each time. So black dot is on the 3rd arc. Black dot now goes on the 4th arc. Is that what you mean? And here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The black dot goes on the 5th arc. So that makes sense. You're absolutely right. arcs are facing upwards. Here the arcs will be facing downwards. Here they're facing upwards. Here they're facing down. And here they're facing up. Yeah? That looks right to me then, Zoya. Well done. It is correct. Thank you so much. And we've got only 2 questions to go. So last 2 final questions. And then we finish for the day, okay? So let's go to Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hi.
Hi, Adam. We're on question 9 now. Have a look at this one, please.
I think it will be B. It's going to be B because each time the shape moves 90 degrees or 45 degrees.
That's right. That's right. So moving from left to right, the shape rotates 45 degrees each time, which is half of 90 degrees. So if you look at this one here, Adam, from there to there, can you see it rotates 45 degrees?
Yeah.
It rotates, rotation means just turning around. So rotates from here to here 45 degrees, and again from here to here 45 degrees. So now we need to work out, if you, for this one, just rotate it anti-clockwise to the left by 45 degrees. And just check that one more time.
It's going to be C.
You're right. Yes, it will be C. Well done. Got that one right. And Adam, last question for the day. Let's just do this together as well while you're here.
Okay. So every time every square it goes up 1, no, down 1. So from the first square to go to the second square,
Yeah.
the black rectangle goes down to the top.
True. Yeah.
And adds an add sign.
Good. So let me just show you this for everybody else's sake as well. So rectangle at the bottom goes right to the top, moves second there. That means our rectangle, whatever our answer is going to be, it's going to be somewhere around here. And then the rectangle, black rectangle, moves right to the bottom again. So the arrowhead is third from the top. Now it moves fourth from the bottom. And then it goes right to the top again. And then we know that in our answer, the arrowhead is going to be somewhere in the middle, in the second column.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. So what do you think? Which box do you think we're going to go for?
I think it will be D.
Yeah, very good. Well done. It will be D. Correct. Good lad. Fantastic. Okay, and that was pretty much it for non-verbal reasoning. So there we go. I would recommend all of you to, when I upload the recorded videos, then you have a look at them again one more time, just to get that pinpoint accuracy with regards to the patterns, just so that you know how they work. Okay, so the more practice you do, the more it makes perfect.